Summer League is all but over. Let's check in how the rookies did.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Locked On Spurs. We're doing the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia, Spurs writer for Ken 5 San Antonio. Glad to have you back. Hope you had a great morning, dip day. Wherever you're watching this, I hope you are okay. Hey, make sure to check out Locked On Spurs. Get your favorite podcast. iTunes, Spotify, Ken 5 Plus app, YouTube. Go give it a subscription right now. Over 8,000 subscribers on YouTube. Keep those numbers going up. I definitely appreciate it. For those who don't know me, I am the Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. What are we talking about today? We're going to look back at the Summer League, Cali and Vegas, and see how the rookies did. I get it. Small sample size, and yes, I get it. Summer League stage, but still, we can pretty much extract some things so we can predict about those two Spurs rookies, Carter Bryant and Dylan Harper, how they will look like as soon as the new season begins. Thank you to some Locked On Spurs fan comments. It's the offseason. You guys are still all about Carter, the Spurs, Vassell, Keldon, Wemby. You guys are talking all things over and we'll pick two and discuss them here on Locked On Spurs. Let's go to bring in our guest, everybody. I think he's ready. Let me see. Yep, he's ready. He's good to go. Look who's back, everybody. James Pledger, San Antonio Sports Star's very own, babysitting a feline today.
Oh, yeah. What's happening, Jeff?
Hey, is that the person who has some tail in a while? Okay, I couldn't help it, man. I couldn't help it. But I'm doing fine, man. Again, everybody, he is the host of Extra Innings on San Antonio Sports Star. And check them out on 94.1, I believe, right, James? 94.1 on the FM dial.
That's correct.
Yep, and he's going to brag about the station in just a few minutes. So again, follow him on X at I Am Pleasure. So, James, the slow period of the NBA offseason is officially underway, man. It's going to be a while to get some NBA action, man. So, are you ready for that?
Not really.
Yeah, it's going to be quiet for a while.
No. I mean, it's not really going to be slow. I mean, here in a couple of weeks, you're going to have a huge story to break and write about here.
What's that?
Well, isn't August 3rd a key date in the Spurs offseason?
Yes. Talking about De'Aaron Fox there?
I am.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be completely quiet. You got Sohan playing in the Euro basket tournament. So, I mean, that'll be fun to see how he's doing. You mentioned Fox, and we'll see what they do with Sohan.
So maybe there's another trade in the works that we didn't see coming, like Kelly Olynyk. Who knows?
Imagine that. Yeah, well, we'll see what the Spurs have in store, and just the NBA for the next couple of months, because, again, is the quiet period of the NBA offseason, and here we go. But we're not done looking back at the pair of Spurs rookies and their play at the California Classic, Vegas Summer League, Carter Bryant, Dylan Harper. Let's start off with Carter Bryant, Pleasure. My first thought right away is, oh, yeah, this guy could be a dog, man. He could be a dog. I don't care if he puts up 2 points, 30 points. He's just going to be a dog out there, get under your skin, make life difficult for any opponent who's in front of him. He's going to try to do everything he can just to make life miserable, and everything he can to make the Spurs win if he gets playing time. That's the key there. So that's what I took away from Carter Bryant at Cali and in Vegas. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's everything that I was hoping he could be, minus the shooting, obviously. He had that one really good shooting performance. Too bad it was in a blowout loss to Charlotte, where I believe he went 4 of 6 from behind the three-point arc in that game. And other than that, he really struggled, but his shot looks good. So, like, you imagine it's going to start falling at some point. There are ebbs and flows, people going hot and cold streaks. That's going to come. But the one thing that always travels is defense, whether the shooting's there or not. And he brought it night in, night out, intensity, switchability, his ability to guard, 5 positions on the floor. And I've said on my show, I think one way he may earn minutes, because everybody's like, hey, he's going to Austin, he's a project, this, that. Yeah, he is a project. I'm not necessarily sure he'll end up in Austin, because during the Summer League, Brian Wright did an interview during the game during halftime, and he spoke on the additions this offseason. What they really wanted to do was improve their defense. Carter Bryant gives them the ability to do that because of his versatility, and he knows his role. He knows that he knew it at Arizona as a six-man off the bench. Like, he knows that he's not going to be the guy. They've got enough of the guy on this roster with Wemby and Fox and Harper and Castle. They need guys that know how to fit into a role, and he does that. And I think one way for him to get minutes is to be that dog defensively, similar to the way Kawhi earned minutes his rookie year. That was like Kawhi being the next future face of the franchise. That was all that. This was Kawhi before he developed a jumper. And what he did, and he did it very well, was play defense. And I think that's something that Carter Bryant can bring to this team that can help impact it this coming season.
Absolutely. In 4 games in the Vegas Summer League, he averaged 25 minutes per game, 7 points per game, took about 8 shots a game, he shot 27%, so a little bit more than just a few seconds. And then he hit 27% from the 3-line as well. He did have 4 rebounds per game. I thought that was pretty impressive, and about 2 assists per game. So all in all, a good outing for him despite the shooting. I think the shooting will come in time. But I got to bring this up to you, James. Doesn't it kind of feel like if they do trade away a Vassell or a Keldon, they got the next guy up with Carter Bryant?
Yeah, I mean,
it feels
Keldon plays that small ball 4-3 position. I could see Deb being a 2-3 kind of guy, but Carter can play any of those positions. And I think as that shot develops, they're going to be more and more expendable because he's going to be more necessary to have on the court because of the skill set and what he brings. And yeah, they become more expendable the better and more Carter Bryant develops because of what he's able to do. And it's going to be very interesting to see how these things play out when it comes to him and how he develops as this offseason goes on, training camp, and into the beginning of the regular season. And we'll see kind of what his role is initially and what it grows into as the year goes on. And I think that's going to be very interesting to kind of watch as it goes on. The other interesting things that's going to have to be looked at is what's going to happen with the open roster spots that the Spurs still have available to them. And 2 guys that didn't play in that finale win over the Pistons. I'm talking about not the guy they shut down in Dylan Harper. I'm talking about Riley Minix. Carter Bryant didn't play either. Riley Minix didn't play. Does that a sign that DMP CD that he has a spot on this team and is going to take up and occupy one of those spots? The other question is the guy that was second team all Las Vegas and David Jones Garcia. What is his future in San Antonio, or does he have one with the way that he played both in California and in Las Vegas? I think he is warranted a spot at least for the Spurs to look at bringing him on in at least a 2-way capacity.
Yeah, I completely agree. He looks like he's at the point where he's too good for the G League already. Like, he'll just wreck shop if he goes back there again. And so whether he's in San Antonio or another NBA team, he definitely earned it, and he definitely earned the respect of Coach Noyes, some of his teammates. Even Stephon Castle on a sideline interview during the Vegas Summer, he said, like, that's his guy. That's his boy. So DLG, David Jones Garcia, we'll see if he stays in San Antonio. I hope he does, but I would not personally be surprised if he does not, though. I could definitely see him say, you know what, I got to go to a situation where I can get paid and play. And unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen in San Antonio.
And if that's the case and he does move on, whether it's his choice or the Spurs' choice, because if you're the Spurs, you're trying to do everything you can to keep this guy, I would think.
Sure, yeah.
And if they aren't, what's their move? Because they're going to do something with those roster spots and who's available still, or is it another Kelly Olynyk situation that we don't see the move coming until it happens and go, okay, that's a really good move.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But I did like the Olympic move. I thought that was a real Spursy move there. I mean, it's exactly the type of big force spreader the Spurs needed. And they got with the Olympic. All right. So overall, we like what we saw out of Carter Bryant in the time played in the Summer League, Cali, and in Vegas. So thumbs up from Pleasure and I. But what about Dylan Harper? Yeah, we're going to talk about him. We get back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by James Pleasure of San Antonio Sports Star. Well, first of all, I talked about Monarch Money. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can be. Whether you're growing your savings, planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You track all your accounts, investment spending in one spot. In addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. Hey, there's so many things about the app that you will enjoy, or just being part of the Monarch Money family there. You can see how you're spending your money wisely or maybe unwisely, like too much takeout, maybe too many subscriptions. What if you're sharing finance with somebody? Monarch Money will help you all pretty much stay in the same financial path and reach that financial goal. Yeah, so you can definitely do so much with the Monarch Money app right now. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. And we are back, joined by James Pleasure of San Antonio Sports Star. You see him on your screen right there. Give him a follow on X at I am Pleasure. Do that right now. We're talking about how the rookies look like on the court out in Cali and the Vegas Summer League. Now, we looked at Carter Bryant, thumbs up, overall impressive play despite the bad shooting. We believe that'll come in time. No need to worry. But Dylan Harper, he played like 2 games and they shut him down quick, didn't they, Pleasure?
About the same amount of games we got Wemby.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, usually with those high picks, they give you about 2 games and that's it. People ask me, like, you don't go to the Summer League? And I've gone, but then sometimes I wonder, like, why did I go and spend a boatload of money for 2 games? One game.
I will say this as it pertains to the Summer League. You probably have more access and availability to players and people than you would like no matter who's playing. Like we saw Brian Wright there, we saw Mitch Johnson there, we saw Wemby there, we saw Devin there, we saw Keldon there, we saw De'Aaron Fox there. I mean, Harrison Barnes was there. We saw a lot of people walking around in Las Vegas that you had access to. So like it's not just about the guys on the court, because it's kind of like an NBA convention off the court.
Yeah, it's like a con. It's like NBA con. Pretty much what it is. Comic Con, NBA con. But it's going to put on the spotlight here Dylan Harper, the Spurs number 2 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft. And I got to tell you, he delivered pretty much right off the bat. He's going to be the type of somebody asked me this, like, does he remind you of a guard in the Spurs history? And the closest I can think of is DeJounte Murray. That was the closest I could think of. Tall guard that can get it to the lane, create his own shot, just be a pest offensively, attacking the rim. But outside of that, I think he's going to just be something so unique at that position the Spurs have never, ever had. He's not a Tony Parker. He's not quite a DeJounte Murray. Maybe Derek White. I don't know. But I think he's really going to separate himself from the pack and be that first unique point guard, or guard, I should say, the Spurs have had. Slashing, scoring, creativity. He did it all in the 2 games out of Vegas.
And when you bring up those traits that he has, and you say he's not like Tony Parker in a way, the way he attacks the basket, he is kind of like Tony Parker. He's just bigger. He's lefty, like his creativity. I mean, he's like a cross between Tony and Manu. And I don't want to, like, he's not a superstar, potential Hall of Famer. That's not what I mean in terms of who Dylan Harper is or could be. He could be, but that is put the cart way before the horse, right? So what you need to do is, he has an electricity to his game that combines a lot of elements that Spurs fans should be very, very excited about, at least to see. And everybody keeps saying about this 3-guard lineup, like, okay, enough. like, yeah, it's a 3-guard lineup potentially if you do put all three of them on the floor at the same time. But you also have to remember, Dylan Harper is 6'6".
He's a big boy.
So he could play the three pretty seamlessly. Stephon Castle is 6'5", so they can defend bigger guys on the floor. And then, of course, you have the eraser that is Victor Wembanyama behind him. So it's, I think too much is being made about this 3-guard lineup. And to be honest, while they may employ it at times, it's a lot like the Warriors' death lineup. We'll probably only see small portions of it, right? Small bursts, small sample sizes throughout the game. And it could be very effective, which leads to its overall success and hyping what they're doing. But I don't think we're going to see that lineup for extra extended periods of time on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. And, he just played 2 games, and I get it, everybody. It's a very small sample size and the stage it was on. But again, you want to look beyond the stats. You want to look like the intangibles. One of the biggest intangible that I saw was just, sure, he shined on offense, what we saw, but that block, that willingness to just commit the body, the hustle to get that crazy block, the spill he took on the court. He wanted to do it all on the court for the Spurs. So I definitely like that. And even before they left to Vegas, you heard Carter Bryant say during summer league practice in San Antonio, Dylan Harper talks, not talking smack, but taking charge of a team. I thought that was awesome to hear. James, what do you think?
Both him and Mike Noyes complimented his ability to lead and his leadership abilities, and he did that while not even playing. He only played in 2 games, and he was still able to lead. He didn't play at all in California. He was there. He was leading. He was vocal. Like, he was a part of and a leader on this team, and that is a good thing to see that from such a young and early age. But, I look at it, and in his 2 games that I saw, the points are great. Yeah, the explosiveness, like, all that's great. I thought he was very good in committing himself defensively. And that was the main thing I was looking for. I didn't look for him to be a lockdown. I didn't look for him to be, but his commitment on the defensive side is what I was looking at. And he committed himself, and it was apparent, and he was definitely giving effort on that side of the court when he was on it. And especially in a summer league game where it's more about open and running and scoring and just kind of open gym runs, he looked like he was into it. And that's going to be very important, especially as we talked about earlier in the last segment. Brian Wright saying their attention was this team was great with Wemby on the floor. When it was off the floor was the issue, and we're looking to address that defensively to be able to sustain when Wemby is off the floor. And Carter Bryant obviously looks like he's going to be a guy that's going to defend. Dylan Harper in his 2 summer league games showed his willingness to want to get down and defend and be a part of that. And we know Luke Cornett and his advanced metrics and how he is as a defender. And Kelly Olynyk, a very seasoned defender and NBA veteran and knows how to do it. Harrison Barnes, a good defender. Like, the Spurs increased their defensive capacity this offseason, much the way Brian Wright said that they were trying to do.
Yeah, they definitely did that. Some quick stats from Dylan Harper. Again, just 2 games, but 22 minutes per game, averaged about 16 points per game, and shot about 36% from the field. So again, limited time, but wow, it definitely opened the eyes to see what could be in just a few months when the regular season starts and the real deal gets underway. So another thumbs up from us about the rookie, Dylan Harper. All right, we're done talking about the rookies. What did y'all think about them over in Summer League Cali and in Vegas? Let James know on X at I Am Pleasure. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. When we get back, we're going to read a couple of Locked On Spurs fan comments. And, you guys are on fire. Seriously, you guys are bringing the noise out there in the Locked On Spurs YouTube fan comments. We're going to pick two of them in just a few seconds. We're back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by James Pledger, San Antonio Sports Star's very own. He is host of Extra Innings. Make sure to follow on Ice at I Am Pledger. And also don't play with him with multi-verse questions because he doesn't want to play. He doesn't like playing multi-verse questions with me. I texted James, I go, James, we're just having fun with the De'Aaron Fox thing. No, I don't want to have fun. I don't want to have fun.
No, it wasn't that I didn't want to have fun. I was just poking some very, very big holes in your argument because, look, it's great. If the Spurs knew or didn't know what they did, they got the best player. And in a league where you need good players, they did that. And then when they did have the ability to draft Harper, they took the best player. They didn't go for fit with Ace Bailey or whatever. They took the guy that they thought was the best player. And they're going to figure it out from there. And here's the other thing. You're going to extend Harper. Whether you knew or not, you have – or, no, excuse me, Fox. You have to extend Fox. And then from there, you try this three-guard lineup. Why wouldn't you at least see what it is and what it can be on the floor for this team? And if it doesn't work, then maybe you look to move him. Then maybe you can go through different routes because I have seen Michael Kidd-Gilchrist be Rookie of the Year, and that was his ceiling. That was his ceiling. So could that be Steph Castle? I don't think so, but it's within the realm of possibility that could be an option if we're going to go multiversal, right? Could Dylan Harper be a Hall of Famer in the future? Absolutely. He could just as easily also be, Sam Bowie or Greg Oden or, Scoot Henderson right now.
Right.
So, I say that to say this, you don't know. And the fact that you don't know, you continue to take the best players you can and figure it out from there because De'Aaron Fox, who you got for nothing, by the way, you can flip for more later and get a greater return on investment than you initially paid for it if everything works out the way you want it to, or doesn't.
By the way, the TVA is after me right now. So I think mine needs about down the road, James. TVAs. They're wondering, why did I go and mess around with the timeline?
Look, it's about asset collection, right? And the Spurs have a ton of assets. And if they need to, they can turn one of these assets into even more assets. So the Spurs are doing the exact right thing that they should be doing. And no, you shouldn't tamper with the timeline by going and fixing De'Aaron Fox just because you have Dylan Harper.
All right. On that note, let's see what the timeline is telling us on the Locked On Spurs fan comment timeline. And see what you guys are talking about. James, I pulled up a couple here. Let's start off with a good one here. This is from at Lone Star Raider 619. He says this he's pretty much given his starting five, right? He goes, you start Julian, actually. So he says, you start Julian and let Castle run the second unit. Here's my starting five. Fox, Julian, Devin, Barnes, Wemby, off the bench, Castle, Harper, Johnson, Kelly Olynyk, and Cornette. Thank you for that comment there, Lone Star. By the way, Lone Star, do you ride a Winnebago and have a dog named Barf at your co-pilot there? Because, Lone Star. For those that don't know, or old, not old like me and Pledger, that's from Spaceballs, everybody. All right. What do you think about that? So he's saying, yeah, exactly. He's mixing it up. He's saying actually he'd throw in Julian in that starting unit, have Castle off the bench. What do you think about that?
I don't hate it. Look, we're going to see a lot of lineups, I think, this year, especially early. And this is going to be Mitch Johnson and this Spurs coaching staff figuring out what works best, who works best, where. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to see a lot of tinkering. Is that a lineup I think we can potentially see? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely it is. But it's going to be one of many. I think we're going to see some lineups that are going to have Wemby and Cornette together. I think we're going to have the three-guard lineup. I think we're going to see Fox, Castle, probably Devin, Harrison Barnes, and Wemby. I think that's a potential lineup we're going to see at some point this year. There's so many possibilities for what the construction of this roster, starting and bench units going to be. And I think we're going to see multiple iterations of it throughout the beginning of the year as they try and figure out what works best together and who work best together.
Yeah. I'm correct me if I'm wrong, and I think like advanced metrics, stats, stuff like the whole that side of the geek analytic world. I think there's a number showing that Julian actually isn't that bad of a defender. Like he's British, but you're not going to lose too much with him. Huh?
No, you're not. And then him and Harrison Barnes were two of your best 3-point shooters last year.
Exactly.
That's a little bit of a detriment to who the team was as a 3-point team last year. But I mean, you added Olynyk. So you still don't have a lot of shooting. So Julian Champagnie does at least provide you that floor spacing with that first unit along with Harrison Barnes. But then if he's starting, what does that mean for your Kelly Olynyk's your only floor spacer on the backside of the on the second unit? Like that, to me, it's going to be very interesting how they piece and part this together over the first couple of months of the season. Yeah. I imagine as we get closer to January and the All-Star break, we're going to see more of a solidified idea of what the rosters and rotations look like. But I think at the beginning, we're going to see a bunch of spaghetti on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you too. Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of mix and match to start the season, and then they'll figure it out as the season goes on. Thank you for that comment there. We appreciate that. Lone Star. Are you your mother's, father's, brother's, roommate, cousin's, nephew? What was that? Put her there, pal. Put her there. You fell
put her there, pal.
You fell for the trick. I can't believe you fell for that trick. All right. Next comment comes from. Let me get a good one here. All right. Okay. Well, we'll keep with the Vassell talk. This is from Epnos. Well, I think I get hard for me to pronounce it, but I think it's Epnosl, EPNOSYM. So thank you for that. We'll just say Ep. Thank you for that comment, Ep. Here we go. He says, quote, if Vassell is still playing big minutes, I wouldn't watch the Spurs. He's bad. He's already reached his ceiling. He's a bad teammate, and he's not a winning player. I don't care about his shot. Oh, he went on. He doesn't contribute to the win. Woo! You're going off on Vassell. I would pump the brakes a bit on that. I don't think he's a bad teammate. I don't think he's a
I don't think he's a bad teammate, but I don't think anything else he said was wrong.
All right. Well, then on that note, take it away there, Pleasure. What do you think about Ep's comment?
Look, I don't think he's a bad teammate. I've questioned his fit. I've questioned his willingness to accept a role. I've questioned his ability to gel within the team. And maybe that's what he means by a bad teammate. I think he's a good teammate. I don't think his fit within the team is good, or his ability to maybe – I think he tries to accept roles. He doesn't know how to fit into those roles. And those are two different things. And I've had issues with it because we see it when people are hurt. Dev goes off, and Dev looks like the guy that we saw early. Dev doesn't know how to be the third, fourth option, which is why I thought he should have gone to the second unit where he could be the first, second option off the bench. But the Spurs are paying him $30 million, and maybe they're trying to justify his salary. I don't think his salary should mean anything in the grand scheme of thing. You put a player in a position that is the best for this team because this is about the team, and I don't care what he's getting paid. If you made a mistake, don't compound the mistake by trying to force a square peg into a round hole. Like, accept your mistake. We're paying this guy $30 million to come off the bench. Maybe at some point we can flip him and do something, or he's just a $30 million bench guy, and that's what he is. But like, I don't adhere to the fact that you have to start players because of their salary or because of their draft position or because of anything else. You play the players that are best for the team in order to win games, and that's how you win games. Their draft position, like if that was the case, Joker wouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
He was a second round pick. He shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be getting valuable minutes. He should be the face of the franchise. Your contract, your salary, your draft position, your all of these things don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things when it comes to roster management. And I just think Devin's been miscast with how he's asked to fit into the San Antonio Spurs, at least since the acquisition of Wemby. I get the first year with it. You're trying to get everybody was trying to figure out how to fit with Wemby. How do you play off of someone who's so uniquely skilled and not get in his way and make it work? And I understand that first year was about kind of figuring that out. But this past year, you knew better, and you kept starting them. You kept starting them. I said it all last year. The best version of this team, in my opinion, was with Steph Castle was starting and Devin Vassell was coming off the bench when he was first returning from injury. That was the best iteration of the Spurs that we saw all last year, and that includes when De'Aaron Fox was with them.
Right.
Just because fit matters in the NBA.
Yeah, I think the early metrics last season, the best starting five by metrics was a team without Vassell, and they had Castle in that starting unit. And again, I think that's not a knock on Vassell. I think he can. You mentioned if it's about a fit, then fitting off the bench, he would contribute to the wins. He would contribute to the Spurs, at least remaining competitive with that second unit. And F brought up something about the ceiling. Could Vassell find a next level ceiling off the bench? Like, could that move really expand his statistics? Like, oh my God, he had a leap in rebounding, fewer turnovers, more assists. Like, you could probably see him flourish in that role.
He could average 17 to 20 something off the bench, and you wouldn't blink an eye because, give him the green light at that point. Let him be the dude that he is when everyone's hurt, And I think that can work. And it's going to be very interesting because, like I said, we're going to see a lot of lineups early next year. Are they going to force Devin into the starting lineup because they're paying him $30 million and they're trying to justify it? Or are they going to find the best fit for him and this team and potentially say, just go be you off the bench? And that is the best way for us to utilize you and your skill set, regardless of your contract.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, we're going back to the point about him being a bad teammate and not a winning player. I can tell you firsthand, I've been in that locker room several times, and Vassell is not a bad teammate at all. And he is about winning. Trust me, he is.
And let's, if you want to talk about not being a winning player, nobody on this team's a winning player. This team hasn't been good in a long time. So nobody is afforded that grace, and that's including Victor Wembanyama.
Exactly. Absolutely. He is, by the way, everybody, we appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. Again, we appreciate a good comment there. And everybody else, keep them coming. Seriously, we could be here all night, just going next. So we appreciate you leaving comments. Yeah, exactly. James, as always, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. Join us here on Locked On Spurs, especially during these doldrums of the NBA offseason. It's here, so we definitely appreciate you taking time out of, again, your day. Hey, tell us about the Star, man, and your show, Extra Innings, Blitz. You guys got it all covered. I think there's a little thing called NFL around the corner, too. I think y'all be ready for that. Yeah,
it's very big because here in the next week, the Sports Stars packing up their stuff and we're heading to Oxnard, California for Dallas Cowboys training camp. So that NFL thing is right there knocking on the door, as is college football, and it's going to be very, very interesting. So start your day with AJ and Rob and the morning huddle when they get you going from 6 to 10 in the morning. And then, of course, the Blitz. Jason, Joe, myself, we're there for you in the afternoons from 2 to 6. And then me, 6 to 7, wrapping up the whole day for you with Extra Innings with Pleasure. And, of course, you can do that a multitude of ways. You can listen to us on 941 on your FM dial. You can always listen online at sasportstar.com via our Best Bell Bonds audio player, or as Jeff's pointing, you can watch us on YouTube like you're doing right now. That's right. You go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, go ahead, like, subscribe, set the notifications so you know when we go live. All those shows are live, and you can interact with us live during the show with comments that we can, bring up during conversation. And it's one of my favorite ways to interact with the program myself, because I'm, contrary to what people believe, I don't sleep at the radio station, so I am not there during the morning huddle a lot of the times, but I'm in the gym and I'm listening and I'm interacting in the comments section there during the morning huddle from 6 to 10.
Yeah. I had a quick wardrobe change right now. When you talk about NFL, switch to my Cowboys at. I don't know why I do this every year to myself, James. I don't know why I do this to myself every year.
They're going to be a lot better than people think this year, I think.
All right. Well, we'll hang. Well, I think at this point, all Cowboy fans will hang on any type of promise or hope of a successful season for the Cowboys. See, that's why I go check out the Star, and the best way to do that is go to SA Sports Star, as James mentioned, on the website, or just follow James on X. That's pretty much the best way. At I Am Pleasure. There, he'll give you the links. He put up snippets of the show. He'll do everything about the Star, even his show too. Extra innings. Don't forget about that. James, we appreciate you as always. Thanks again. Everybody else, we thank y'all for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. We're free and available wherever we get podcasts. You know where to go: iTunes, Spotify, Kids 5 Plus, and YouTube. You guys are the everydayers. Keep on coming here every single day. We'll be back tomorrow talking all things Silverback as the off season starts coming to a crawl. So yeah, but we'll keep it going here at Locked On Spurs. So for James' pleasure, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put on a lock of this episode of Locked On Spurs.